A narcissist thrives on one thing above all: your reaction. They feed off your emotions, your frustration, and your attempts to call them out. The moment you expose their manipulation, you're not weakening them, you're fueling their game. They don't respond to truth with reflection. They don't take accountability when confronted. Instead, they twist, distort, and reframe the situation in their favor. That's why calling out a narcissist is never the solution. It only entangles you deeper into their web, draining your energy and leaving you questioning yourself. At first, it seems like speaking up should be the answer. You might think that if you just lay out the facts, if you just show them their behavior in black and white, they'll finally see what they're doing. Maybe you believe they'll be embarrassed, ashamed, or even remorseful. But the truth is, narcissists don't operate by the same emotional rules as you do. They don't see confrontation as an opportunity to reflect. They see it as a challenge to win. And they will do whatever it takes to avoid admitting fault. The moment you call them out, the battle begins. They will interrupt, deflect, and deny. If you bring up something they did, they will remind you of something you did, whether real or exaggerated. They will twist your words, gaslight you into doubting your own memory, and make you feel like you're the one who's overreacting. Instead of addressing what you're saying, they'll attack your tone, your timing, or your character. They'll accuse you of being dramatic, sensitive, or even paranoid, and before you know it, the conversation has flipped. Suddenly, you're on the defensive, explaining yourself, justifying your emotions, and wondering if you're the problem after all. And that's exactly what they want. A narcissist's greatest weapon is confusion. If they can make you second-guess your own reality, they win. They don't need to prove themselves right. They just need to make you doubt that you're right. And once that seed of doubt is planted, they have control. That's why arguing with a narcissist is like arguing with a wall that changes shape every time you touch it. One moment they're the victim, the next they're the hero, and no matter how strong your evidence, they will never acknowledge their fault. But it doesn't stop there. The narcissist doesn't just ignore your confrontation, they use it against you. The moment you call them out, they go into attack mode. They will spread lies about you before you even have a chance to defend yourself. They will paint you as the aggressor, the unstable one, the one who is too emotional to be taken seriously. They will bring up past conflicts, twisting events to make themselves the victim. And the more you fight back, the more they reinforce the narrative that you're the problem. This is why silence is your greatest weapon. Not because you're weak, not because you're afraid, but because you understand the game and you refuse to play it. When you stop giving them the reaction they crave, you take away their power. They want you to lash out. They want you to prove their point. They want you to break down so they can look like the composed one. But when you choose not to engage, you shift the balance. You no longer dance to their tune. You detach, you rise, and you take back control. This doesn't mean you allow them to mistreat you. It means you handle them strategically. You don't confront them expecting change. You change how you interact with them. You set boundaries. You refuse to explain yourself when they twist the truth. You disengage from pointless arguments. You stop feeding into their need for conflict. And most importantly, you protect your energy. Because the real battle isn't about proving them wrong, it's about keeping your peace. And that's where true strength lies, not in calling them out, but in knowing you don't have to. A narcissist's downfall is inevitable, not because you expose them, but because their own patterns will. Life has a way of revealing the truth in time, and when it does, you'll be too far ahead to even care. When dealing with a narcissist, one of the biggest traps you can fall into is expecting them to change when confronted. You believe that if you just explain their behavior clearly, if you just show them the truth, If you just make them see what they are doing, they will finally understand. But the harsh reality is that narcissists do not change because you point out their flaws. They don't change because they've hurt you. They don't change because you give them facts, logic, or heartfelt pleas. A narcissist will only change when it benefits them, and even then, it's usually just a performance. The reason calling them out doesn't work is that they are not driven by the same motivations as you. A person with a healthy mindset will hear criticism, reflect, and make adjustments, but a narcissist only cares about control, power, and maintaining their image. They see your confrontation as an attack, not an opportunity for growth. And instead of admitting fault, they will do whatever it takes to protect their ego, even if that means rewriting reality itself. When you call them out, they go into defense mode immediately. They may act as if they have no idea what you're talking about, even if the evidence is right in front of them. They will deny, dismiss, and gaslight you into thinking you're imagining things, and if that doesn't work, they'll shift the blame onto you. Suddenly, you're not talking about their behavior anymore. Now, they are talking about how you're too sensitive, how you're always looking for a problem, or how you never let things go. They flip the script so fast that you find yourself defending your own feelings instead of holding them accountable. But it doesn't stop there. If a narcissist feels truly exposed, they will resort to the next level of damage control, turning others against you. They will start playing the victim, telling mutual friends, family members, or co-workers that you are being unreasonable, that you're attacking them for no reason, or that you're the one who is unstable. They will spread half-truths and twisted versions of events to gain sympathy and isolate you from support. And because narcissists are often skilled manipulators, many people will believe them. This is why calling out a narcissist doesn't just fail, it often backfires. The more you try to expose them, the more they work behind the scenes to discredit you. And the more you push for accountability, the more they push back with lies, gaslighting, and manipulation. It becomes an endless cycle where you're the only one expending energy while they simply deflect, deceive, and watch you burn yourself out. So, if calling them out doesn't work, what does? The key is understanding that the real battle isn't about getting them to admit the truth. It's about how you choose to handle their behavior. Instead of seeking their validation or hoping for a sincere apology that will never come, you shift your focus to protecting yourself. This means setting firm boundaries and enforcing them even when they try to break them down. It means not allowing yourself to be pulled into arguments where they twist your words and play the victim. It means limiting your emotional investment in someone who will never give you the response you deserve. And most importantly, it means recognizing that you do not need their acknowledgement to validate your experience. One of the most powerful things you can do is stop expecting closure from someone incapable of giving it. Closure doesn't come from hearing them admit they were wrong. It doesn't come from getting justice or making them pay for what they did. It comes from accepting the truth about who they are and deciding that you will no longer let their behavior define your peace. Narcissists thrive on control. They want to control the narrative, control your emotions, and control how others see them. But the moment you stop engaging in their games, you take that control away. You stop reacting, stop explaining yourself, and stop trying to fix what cannot be fixed. You move differently. You focus on your healing, your peace, and your future. And in doing so, you remove their power over you. At the end of the day, a narcissist does not need to hear your truth to be exposed. Their own actions will catch up with them. Their own patterns will reveal them. And while they are busy trying to maintain their illusion, you will be walking in the freedom that comes with knowing you no longer need their validation to know your worth. When dealing with a narcissist, it is crucial to understand that confrontation does not lead to change, it leads to retaliation. Many people believe that if they expose a narcissist's behavior, if they call them out and make them see the truth, they will finally take responsibility. But that is not how narcissists operate. Their entire world is built on maintaining control, dominance, and an image of superiority. They do not reflect, they do not accept blame, and they certainly do not change because someone points out their flaws. Instead, they react with calculated aggression, manipulation, and even revenge. The moment you call them out, they see it as a direct attack on their self-image, which is the one thing they cannot allow to be questioned. Unlike a healthy individual who might take accountability and learn from their mistakes, a narcissist will go into immediate defense mode. They will deny, dismiss, and twist your words until you start doubting yourself. If that doesn't work, they will flip the narrative entirely, making you the villain while they play the victim. Suddenly, the conversation is no longer about what they did. It's about how you're being unfair, unreasonable, or even abusive. This is one of the most frustrating aspects of dealing with a narcissist. You come with facts, examples, and clarity, but they distort reality so convincingly that you start questioning your own experiences. This is called gaslighting. It's a psychological manipulation tactic designed to make you second-guess your perceptions, your feelings, and even your sanity. A narcissist will say things like, "That never happened," or "You're making things up," or "You always overreact." And because they say it with such certainty, it's easy to wonder if maybe, just maybe, they're right. But deep down, you know the truth. You know what you saw, what you felt, and what you experienced. The problem is that the more you try to make them admit it, the more they double down on their lies. They are not interested in honesty. They are interested in winning. And if winning means rewriting history, making you feel crazy, or dragging your name through the mud, they will do it without hesitation. If gaslighting doesn't work, they move on to the next level of defense, projection. Instead of taking accountability, they take their own toxic traits and assign them to you. If they are the ones lying, they accuse you of lying. If they are the ones being manipulative, they say you are the manipulator. If they are the ones being emotionally abusive, they suddenly claim to be the victim of your mistreatment. This is all designed to throw you off balance, to keep you defending yourself rather than focusing on their behavior. And if that still doesn't work, they escalate. They will start spreading lies about you to mutual friends, family, or co-workers. They will paint a picture of you as unstable, irrational, or even dangerous. This is known as a smear campaign, and it's one of the most damaging tactics a narcissist will use. They don't just want to discredit you, they want to isolate you. They want to make sure that when you finally decide to walk away, you have no support system left. This is why calling out a narcissist often backfires. It does not bring justice, it brings more chaos. It does not bring closure, it brings more manipulation. The more you push for accountability, the more they push back with lies, gaslighting, and control tactics. The more you demand honesty, the more they twist the truth. And before you know it, you're caught in a never-ending cycle of trying to prove something to someone who will never admit the truth. So what do? If confronting them doesn't work, if exposing them only makes things worse, how do you deal with a narcissist? The answer is simple. You disengage. You stop playing their game. You stop trying to make them see the truth because they don't want to see it. You stop waiting for them to admit their wrongs because they never will. Instead, you focus on yourself, on your healing, and on protecting your peace. This means setting boundaries that they cannot cross no matter how much they try to manipulate or guilt trip you. It means refusing to engage in arguments where they twist your words and shift the blame. It means understanding that their version of events will never be based on truth, but on whatever serves their agenda. And most importantly, it means accepting that you do not need their validation to know your worth. A narcissist wants to keep you trapped in their web of manipulation, but the moment you step back, the moment you decide that you are done engaging in their mind games, you take back your power. You stop reacting, you stop explaining, you stop justifying, and when they realize they can no longer control you, they either escalate their tactics in desperation or move on to someone else they can manipulate. Either way, you win because you are no longer under their control. Healing from a narcissistic relationship, whether personal or professional, is not about getting them to change. It is about changing how you respond to them. It is about breaking free from the cycle of needing them to understand, needing them to admit, needing them to give you closure. Because the truth is, you don't need them to do any of that. You are enough without their validation. You are worthy without their approval. And the moment you fully accept that, you reclaim the peace they tried to steal from you. At the end of the day, a narcissist's greatest fear is losing control. And the best way to defeat them is not to fight them, it's to refuse to be controlled by them. When you do that, when you walk away from their games and focus on your own healing, you win in a way they will never understand. And that is the real victory. A narcissist thrives on control. Everything they do, every interaction they have is centered around maintaining dominance over those around them. When you choose to walk away, when you refuse to engage in their manipulations, they see it as the ultimate betrayal. Not because they genuinely care about you, but because they cannot stand losing the power they once had over you. And when they feel that power slipping away, they do not simply let go. They fight harder, they escalate, and they do everything in their power to regain control. One of the most common ways a narcissist reacts when you decide to detach from them is by launching a smear campaign against you. This is their way of punishing you for daring to break free. They begin to spread lies, twisting reality to make themselves look like the victim and you like the villain. They tell mutual friends, co-workers, even family members fabricated stories about how unreasonable, toxic, or unstable you are. They want to ensure that if you ever try to speak the truth, no one will believe you. They carefully craft a narrative in which they are the innocent party and you are the aggressor. This is a painful and frustrating reality for anyone who has dealt with a narcissist. You want to defend yourself, you want to explain the truth, you want to make sure everyone knows what really happened, but that is exactly what they want. They want you to fight back because the more you engage, the more you look like the irrational one. They are experts at provoking reactions, at pushing your buttons until you lash out, and then using your reaction as proof that you are the problem. If they cannot manipulate you directly, they will manipulate the people around you. They will turn your closest allies against you, making sure you feel isolated and alone. They do this because they know that once you are alone, you are vulnerable. You are more likely to second-guess yourself, to doubt your decisions, and to consider going back to them just to make the chaos stop. This is their ultimate goal, to make you feel that leaving them was a mistake. And if the smear campaign doesn't work, if you remain firm in your decision to walk away, they will resort to emotional manipulation. They will suddenly become the person you always wanted them to be. They will apologize, they will cry, they will swear that they have changed. They will say things like, "I can't live without you," or "You're the only person who truly understands me." They will make grand promises about how different things will be if you just give them one more chance. But it's all a lie. It is not genuine remorse. It is a tactic. They do not feel regret for what they have done. They feel regret for losing control. The moment you let them back in, the cycle starts all over again. The love bombing phase, the manipulation, the gaslighting, the eventual devaluation, it all repeats itself, only worse than before, because now they know your weakness, they know exactly what to say and do to pull you back in. And once they have you where they want you, the mask drops and they go right back to who they truly are. This is why it is so crucial to stand firm in your decision to walk away. A narcissist will do everything in their power to break you, to make you question yourself, to lure you back into their web of control. But you must remember, freedom from them is not found in fighting back, in proving your side of the story, or in seeking closure from them. Freedom is found in detachment. It is found in accepting that you will never get the apology, the accountability, or the justice you deserve from them. What you will get, however, is peace. And that peace is worth more than any temporary satisfaction that could come from proving them wrong. Because the truth is, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. The people who truly know you, the ones who matter, will see through their lies, and the ones who believe them were never really on your side to begin with.